1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh,
since then, because he's had so many goals and things, and it's kind of amounts we can't imagine what it must be like to earn so much money in a week. I mean, it's crazy stuff, isn't it? But in the market that's there, with Haaland, I think, on 500,000 a week, players like Fernandes, who knows his own value, I'm sure, to Manchester United, because there's been talk of he might move on at the end of the season. Well, basically, I guess he's saying I'll stay if you pay me 400,000 a week. So, of any player at Manchester United or most other clubs, I would say that is a reasonable request. And if they turn him down on that, I imagine he'll go somewhere else. And that would be a shame, because after the last couple of performances under Carrick, things are looking very much better, aren't they?
Things are, yeah. So that's a good. Yeah, I support you on that. I think it's definitely worth it. I think the club should definitely grant his request.
Yeah.
Now, this is Wayne Rooney. I know we've talked about him earlier on today, but this is what he says about Mikel Carrick following the performances recently, the recent performance. He says, from the way the boys are playing, the strength of the bond between them, the drive, passion and hunger in them, I think it took Manchester United 13 years to find Alex Ferguson. Now, I think he's making a case for, it took the club 13 years to find Alex Ferguson's replacement.
Absolutely.
Replacement, I think that's what he said. Now, I think he's actually making a case for Carrick to stay, or for Manchester United to keep Mikel Carrick. Now, what I'm thinking is there any weight in what he's saying? Of course, with the two performances, but we know it could either go down or go stronger. Now, the reason why I've said that is not to be negative, but because Patrick Dorgu is out for the next 10 months, according to what he says, so this injury. Now, do you think that would slow the momentum? Is it too early to start saying, well, let's start campaigning for the management to keep Carrick? Is it too early?
Yeah, I think it's far too early. You can't judge somebody over 2 games. I mean, he's got a good history, I think, with Middlesbrough, hasn't he? He did pretty well there. But yeah, you can't. I don't think the powers that be that Manchester United will be thinking, right, one more win and we'll appoint him. They've appointed him to the end of the season with good reason. He's a caretaker manager, which gives any club the opportunity to stop and think. We've had years of things not being quite right. We want to be back to the old Manchester United, so we can't just rush this appointment. Now, what I would say is, if he had massive success between now and the end of the season, I mean, there's about 15 league matches to go, and that's without Champions League and stuff. If he were to end up in the top 4, which they could well do, and maybe win one of the trophies, then he would have a very strong case, because it wouldn't just be viewed as a sort of something, fly in the night, so to speak, where it's just been a bit lucky. And you could also say, as people do, the players who've been very good in these last 2 games must have some responsibility for how there's been this transformation into what was.
say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
In this transformation into what was a very good Manchester United team, almost reminding us of times gone by, when under dRem, who I still think is a good manager, they just were not doing it. Now, maybe you can't blame the players. If a manager doesn't motivate the players, maybe this is what's happening elsewhere, like Crystal Palace. If they know the manager's going and things are adrift from where they should be, psychologically they might stop stop playing for that manager. The manager loses the dressing room is the phrase. So that may come into this, but equally, if players can suddenly turn it on, albeit with a slightly different setup, 3-5-1 or whatever it is, then why were they not showing that energy before? So it could be a bit of everything. I suppose players who are happy, who are playing a system they naturally like, will almost automatically have more energy. If they're positive and up for the games, they will play better. It's not a conscious decision, I'm not going to play my best now. But if you are, say, like a player who wants to go from a club, he's not going to be in the same frame of mind. So it is far too early after 2 games. And if you ask Michael Carrick himself, do you think you've done enough to get the job? He'd probably laugh and say, well, of course not, no. If I'm winning most of the games between now and the end of the season with good performances and, really hanging up there and doing well, then yeah, I'll put in a claim for the job, but I probably wouldn't need to, because if he does really well over the thick end of half a season, then how could they not appoint him? I mean, he has got his credentials of being Manchester United through and through in the past. He was a very good player for Manchester United in his day, and he's already got a bit of a track record as a manager. So yeah, if he carries on like this, he could well get the job. As you say, Dorgu, who scored a fabulous goal, didn't he, against Arsenal? And again, he's been a revelation in these last 2 games that I haven't seen, as with 1 or 2 of the others, haven't seen in the last few months when I've watched Manchester United. But he's got it all there, as some of the other players have, like Ahmad is another one who's coming to life a bit. So maybe it's sort of they're feeding off each other and everything is kind of falling together. And if that's so, then maybe Carrick has had some input to that. So yeah, if I were the owner, one of the owners at Manchester United, if I was Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I think I'd be saying, I hope it is Michael Carrick. I hope he's really successful this season, because otherwise we're going to be looking, and they probably already are, truth be told, at other managers around the world, or maybe some have said they're looking at Oliver Glasner. I'm not sure.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on